Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Squared Post podcast. I am Daniyal along with Sam. Now, Sam, this should be a really short episode. Not a lot happened in wrestling in the last 2 weeks. It's not like we got a Goldberg return and Ronda Rousey coming back and winning the Royal Rumble, and Brock Lesnar entering himself in the Elimination Chamber. And it's not like any tweet by TK would have set the wrestling world on fire in the last week or so, is there?
Yeah, it's been a pretty quiet week to say the least. But
But yes, there was a lot that happened in the last 2 weeks. The wrestling world seemed to move faster than normal because again, we have Saudi Arabia approaching and we have Revolution in 3 weeks. And Vince McMahon decided to bring back the one person everybody always loves to see on their screen. He brought back Dave Bautista. No, he brought back Goldberg. No. And now Goldberg is about to be in a feud with Roman Reigns
for the third time in like 3 years.
Yes. Okay, listen. I don't want to say dislike. I think Goldberg has his uses. I just don't like to see him title pictures. But I get it because Vince wanted this match in like 2020. And that didn't happen because Roman looked around, saw we were in a pandemic. I was like, you guys have fun. I'm going to go home with my wife. You all enjoy yourselves. And then we got Goldberg versus Braun. Yeah. And Braun, we all know what happened. Braun won, Roman came back, and he started this head of the table gimmick.
Yeah. And I think Roman did a good idea saying, hey, by the way, I'm gonna go make another set of twins. I'll be right back in another like 3-4 months. So Braun, you can deal with Goldberg for a little bit.
He was like, you all look good, right? Okay, good. I'm gonna hang out with my wife, have more babies, and you all just chill. I'll be back soon. Maybe. We'll see. And he did come back in 4 months, but yeah. And then he came back and they started this, I don't want to say unprecedented, but it started this really good reign by some standards. That Roman has been like a heel because it's what a lot of people have been like wanting since he started pretty much after the Shield broke up. But how long do you think this match is going to be? We know from history that Goldberg's best matches are mostly his shortest. There was that match with Lashley, but I am a huge fan of Lashley, and we'll talk about Lashley later. So I put more of that on Lashley than Goldberg.
Mm-hmm. And for me, I think Goldberg's best matches, like you said, are the shorter ones. And granted, he had a decent match with Ziggler at SummerSlam during the pandemic, and
I think that was before the pandemic. Oh no, that might be. But Ziggler, we will also talk about Ziggler later. But Ziggler is a guy that they can play against anybody, and Ziggler will sell his ass off for them. Like that's Ziggler's whole modus operandi. So, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Goldberg, except for that Undertaker match, which never should have happened. But I think 5 minutes, especially if rumors are true, and this is Goldberg's last match, and he doesn't not resign. 5 minutes is good.
5 minutes or less, I think, it is a perfect time limit for Goldberg to get in there, get his shit in, and just go home.
Now let's talk about the other side of the coin, because this is Saudi Arabia, and we know the prince loves himself some Goldberg. So we were talking, and we were mostly joking, but like, there's a small chance that Goldberg might walk away with the title.
I hope not. Goldberg is at a point now in his life where he I don't think he needs a title anymore. He's at a point in his career where he's past 20 years in the business. He's past veteran level. He's now like the legend level. He's in the Hall of Fame. There's not much stuff left you can do really with Goldberg. I think besides maybe giving younger talent the rub, that's literally it.
I think Goldberg's past being in any title feuds too. But also, like I said this with the Seth match, I'm looking more at this from a Roman title reign perspective. that Roman has held the title for what? I think it's 500 days now.
Just
I
about.
could be-
Yeah.
yeah.
He I think he passed over Brock's like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so he's at 500 plus. You can't give the title to Seth. You can't give the title to Goldberg.
Yeah.
But after this reign, it needs to be someone you can see carrying the company for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Now, if that's
100%.
Braun Breaker down in NXT, if that's Mello, if that's Solo Sikoa, who is the blonde Uso, which again will be very interesting to see what they do there when he is called up. If they like put him on a different brand and do not acknowledge it, or if they put him with his brothers. But yeah, that should be interesting. But yeah, it needs to be someone that you can see carrying the company for the next 10 years. Now, it probably won't. They'll just have him lose it at a random pay-per-view to jumpstart his next feud. But it should be someone that you can see carrying for the next 10 years.
Yeah. I think bringing a guy up like a Braun Breaker, like a Solo Sikoa, or maybe even bringing up like we were talking about last night with
Santos,
with Ciampa and Legado.
I want to see Santos beat Roman Reigns. I mean, he's not the youngest, so he's getting up there in age. But Santos Escobar beating Roman Reigns for the title would pop me.
Yeah,
and if that's not what wrestling is about, popping yourself, then I don't know what it is.
You're exactly right.
Tony Khan pops himself all the time. I think I can do it once.
Yeah, he does it every 9 days.
Yes. And also other WWE news. Ronda Rousey returns, and as soon as she returns, you can see 100 million people going, "Oh, I know what's about to happen in this Royal Rumble."
Yeah, her involvement in the Royal Rumble was predictable as soon as her music hit.
Yes.
You could tell as soon as Bad Reputation by Joan Jett hit. You could tell right off the bat that she was gonna win. There was no way. Like maybe
I still held out a little bit of sliver of hope that what would happen would Ronda eliminate Charlotte and then Bianca eliminate Ronda.
That's what I was hoping for as well.
But that didn't happen. But I mean, we still got Ronda eliminating Charlotte because we need to set up this thing.
And we even got a little thing between Shayna and Ronda
that was fun
for a couple seconds.
I did like that. Do you think if they were to interact at all on TV, which they haven't done so far, would it be as a tag team, or do you think they'd face off? Because Shayna was leaning. I mean, I think it was only me that was leaning towards too. I think she was leaning towards the face turn when she interrupted Charlotte, like the week before Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I think that's what they're leaning forward with her.
Yes. And Sonya also does MMA, and we saw on the last SmackDown that Sonya and Ronda are not the biggest fans of each other.
No, not at all, and which doesn't surprise me at all. It's especially with how like that there's like rumors going around that Ronda's bitter backstage and all this stuff, and we'll talk about that maybe a little bit later.
Yes,
but
also Shayna was Sonya's like heavy and like months ago during the early stage of feud with Naomi. So maybe that's some storyline possibility there. I mean, I don't know how long Ronda has on her contract, but that would be interesting in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting too, especially like because they're so collected with each other with the four horsewomen of MMA, and I think if they want to do something with the four horsewomen, they could possibly like maybe have them have a match, put them back together, then maybe go ahead and face them against the wrestling four horsewomen, like two of them since the two others are.
But that's another thing when you talk about like Bayley's not back yet. So I thought if she was healthy, I thought Royal Rumble was the best place to get Bayley back. Too. But now I'm leaning towards maybe don't bring her back for like a short feud so WrestleMania. Maybe bring her back after and put her in like a really important program. Because she is Bayley. She did carry the company during the Thunderdome area. So she deserves that.
Yeah, her and Sasha during the Thunderdome era was like they ran the friggin' thing.
Yes. It'll be interesting to see what they do with her because, like, the minute her music is, she's getting a huge babyface pop. The
Yeah, she
WWE universe doesn't really do huge babyface pops anymore, but
yeah,
there's one person that will get a huge pop.
Bailey.
So it'll be interesting to see if they turn her face or if they do what they did with Seth Rollins. He came out after his injury. He got a big
Yeah,
pop and then he immediately turned it against them. And then he turned face
yeah,
like 5 months later for the feud with Triple H, I think. Don't
yeah.
quote me on that, but yeah, something like that.
He turned face for the feud with Hunter, and then
Yes.
like by by by
But
the time
there was a
by the
point where
time
they could tell it wasn't working, so they turned him back after everyone already hated him.
yeah, and it was because the Jason Jordan stuff too.
I will talk about Jason Jordan on this show because, like I've told you before, I saw the world in that dude. Like, I
Yeah,
think he
me
could
too.
have done something we haven't seen since 2000 Shane McMahon, with him being like the boss's kid and him trying to get his way. And if Kurt Angle's to be believed, Jason was supposed to
Yeah,
get his retirement match that went to Baron Corbin because Jason was injured.
yeah,
But with all these injured guys coming back and girls, I kind of still
hmm
am holding out hope that we see Jason Jordan in the ring again.
yeah, me too. I thought Jason Jordan during the American Alpha era was a fantastic wrestler, and of course, once they start doing this stuff with Kurt, things
Before they started
his reputation starting to change a little bit.
before they started this whole heel thing with Sonya, an idea I had for him was after Alpha Academy turned heel, bring Jason on as their manager and have him use his backstage pull to get them favorable stuff.
Yeah,
But
that's a good idea.
they already have a heel GM with like Sonya, so they probably shouldn't stay away from. They probably shouldn't do that. But like, I still want to see
Yeah,
him pop back somehow.
yeah, me too. Uh, whether it's him as a mic as a mouthpiece for them,
Yeah,
because Otis and Gable can look menacing, not even talking.
yeah, because like he is a producer backstage for them. Like
Yeah,
he's one like, and he produced. I think it was the women's segment where everyone interrupted everyone before the Royal Rumble,
yeah,
which was well done. And he also produced a bunch of matches. I just can't name any off the top of my head. Sorry.
yeah. It seems like him and TJ, there, Tyson Kidd, those two are like the main agents right now in WWE.
Yeah, they're the main young agents with
Yeah,
PD Williams and Jamie Noble.
that's right.
Yes.
PD got a tryout there. I forgot.
Yeah, PD. I think he signed full time with them as an agent. So I mean, they have some young blood. They also have a lot of like more established producers backstage. Let's put it
Yeah,
that way.
uh,
So I
of
think they
course.
have a good mix. It just depends on who is listened to more, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But this isn't
and
that type of show, so we should probably talk about what we
yeah,
see on the screen. Like
yeah,
Brock Lesnar is out and he's in the elimination chamber because Adam Pearce is still very scared of him.
yeah,
That's my explanation for why Adam Pearce is like, you know what? Yes, you lost at Royal Rumble and you have not fought,
hmm
and we have two other qualifying matches tonight, but I'm going to give you free access into the elimination chamber.
yeah. He doesn't want to rip his pants again, so he's like, how about you just get in the match? I don't. I kind of want to keep my pants this time. So
And Brock was in like ring gear, like he was wearing the shorts, he was wearing the
yeah,
gloves, and
I saw that and went, he's gonna rip Pierce's pants again, isn't he?
yeah, like I thought Pierce would be like, hey, you know what? You want an elimination chamber? Okay, you can face. Give me someone lower card. Dom Mysterio. I don't know.
Yeah,
You can face Dom. You can face Dom Mysterio. Miz is supposed to have a match with him, but
yeah,
that's fine. We can
put
reschedule the Miz. Face Dom
yeah,
Mysterio. You win. You're in the elimination chamber, and that could also play into what they were doing before Survivor Series, where it was like Pierce is not legitimate. Pierce is not unbiased. What is going on? Why
yeah,
am I the only one that sees this? But I don't think they've finished that storyline. So this could have been a fun way to be like, yeah,
yeah,
Pierce hates the Mysterios for specifically. Although I
Yeah.
think they stopped the storyline because of the Naomi and Sonya storyline.
Yeah. Which is interesting. That's another thing that that really like kind of irks me. Like it, like it.
You know what I think?
I think they're trying to paint Sonya as a racist, and I'm like, oh,
they need to give us a reason that's more than you walk around with main character energy when you're just a side character. That was no one talked like that. But I think in my mind, I could be wrong because like I don't try to get into WWE's guys' minds.
Yeah.
I don't think they wanted two heels, like as the main authority figures. Because if you remember, Eric Bischoff and Teddy Long, Eric Bischoff and Stephanie McMahon, John Laurinaitis and Teddy Long, one's always a heel authority figure.
Yeah.
But the other's almost always a face.
Yeah.
So I think they saw, oh, okay, maybe we don't have two heel authority figures, so they started pulling back on Adam. Because Adam has been nasty to Naomi, even though he hasn't like really interfered in all with what Sonya is doing to her, except for giving like Naomi matches that he thinks should like, hold her and not get us too angry. But yeah. But also Brock's in it, which scares me because like I mentioned to you repeatedly, I love Bobby Lashley. I think this is exactly where he needs to be. But I'm also aware, I know I said we won't talk about the backstage stuff, but this backstage stuff is very important in the context of what we see on the screen.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon loves Brock Lesnar. Vince McMahon loves quote unquote stakes, or what he calls stakes.
Yeah.
And what bigger stakes than title versus title at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
So I'm really scared that what we're heading towards is Brock just demolishing everyone in the Elimination Chamber, even Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
And Roman demolishing Goldberg. And hey, look at that. I have the WWE title. Hey, look at that. I have the Universal title. And I'm choosing you as
he'll be the walking Triple H meme, or the ultimate dragon, their picture.
Do you think they unified the titles?
Ooh. If I were them, I would have done it years ago, but now it's too late.
Okay, here's my thing though, and I've mentioned to you before, and I mentioned to other people when we talk about the brand split, because everyone's like, "Oh, and the brand split, and the brand split." I'm like, the networks cannot get along. You think they can get along on it? Like WWE decide, hey, let's run Hell in a Cell with Roman and Ray a couple nights earlier and do it on SmackDown, so we don't have that many matches on Hell in a Cell. You're saying executives saw that and were like, wait, what? And then they got mad. So Vince was like, okay, you know what? We're gonna run Bobby Lashley and Xavier Woods in the Cell on Raw. So I don't think they can unify the titles, because when they do that, one brand will get shafted. Like one brand will not have the champ on as much as they probably need to or want to. And then that's going to get the network mad. And Vince McMahon needs to keep the networks happy, especially as we get closer and closer to TV contract time.
And especially with right now, Raw is doing a little bit of stuff on Sci-Fi.
Yes.
Maybe just to get their feet wet, just in case.
If they were, I think the ratings last night scared them into like, nope, never mind. Hey, USA, you still like us? We're still good? Okay, great. We'll put Dolph Ziggler on NXT, and hopefully that gets the NXT ratings up, so you won't be too mad at us.
Yeah, and speaking of Dolph in NXT 2.0, I thought that was
awesome promo. I love NXT Dolph because Dolph on the regular shows is okay, but like everything he says, there are about 100 other guys that did as well. NXT Dolph, he just walks in, he takes a seat at the table like he owns it. He's like, I could list all my accomplishments, but that would probably take the entire show. And Santos is just looking around like, hold on. This is supposed to be between me and Braun. Where did you come from? And then Ciampa walks out, and Santos is like, am I going insane? Like, what's happening? And then Ciampa, Tommaso, and Dolph like get into argument. And then Santos is fine, like, yo, This is between me and him. I don't know what you two want. I don't know what you two are doing. But hey, how about this? After I win the title, you guys can all fight over it. And
Yeah,
then
and what I think is absolutely weird is that Tommaso called Dolph a kid when Dolph is 41 years old and Tommaso is 38.
okay. Edge said one superstar he would like to mentor is Damian Priest. I don't think there's a 10-year age difference between them.
Not at all.
So yeah,
I
I don't
I
think
think they're only
WWE.
like maybe 2 years behind from each other. Like I think him and Ciampa are like the same age.
Yeah, 36, 41 as Dolph and Ciampa. But I don't think WWE gets ages that well.
No,
But I
they
think they
they
had
think just as long as you're in NXT, you're considered a kid.
I think they had Ciampa call him that because two reasons. One, Ciampa's beard
Yeah,
is really, and two, I think it was just a word for Ciampa to patronize
great.
Dolph to say. Easy for me to say.
Yeah,
Patronize Dolph with, because like that fits into Tommaso's character. Being patronized and getting angry fits into Dolph's, especially the training wheels part.
yeah,
And but also I feel like every guy did their job well.
yeah. I think so 100% as well. I think especially Dolph. Dolph knew what his role was. His role was to come in and be the smug son of a bitch that that is on the main roster.
Yeah, because like I don't know what Dolph said to start it, but I know what Braun said to start it. And like I can't remember at the top of my head, but he said he won't work Tuesdays. Apparently he can't work on Saturdays either. And then he posted a clip of Dolph being eliminated from the Royal Rumble, and Dolph
Yeah,
alluded to that. He was like, "Congratulations, you know how to tweet. You own or rent a phone. That's very well done. I was on the main roster winning championships while you were still playing football." He didn't actually say that, but
no,
that's
but
kind of
he generalized what the
yeah,
Twitter
that's
feud
kind of what he meant. He
was.
was just like, while you were playing football and calling your dad to get your roster spot, I was winning championships. Again, I want to make it clear. He did not say that. This is just what I think goes through Dolph's mind.
It
Also,
goes through the canon of
yes,
NXT.
yes. Although I think now that I think about it, it would have been so much better if he said that. Although people would
Yeah,
be upset, but whatever. Um,
yeah. And another thing from 2.0 I think we should talk about is what happened last night with Wendy Chu and the whole thing with Wendy stealing Tiffany Stratton's
yes.
credit
When
card
Wendy Chu
and
committed credit card fraud, and like she's a baby face, and no one talked about it. Like
yeah.
everyone, like no one talked about it. It was like, yeah, she stole a credit card, went on a shopping spree until the card was canceled. Who cares? And
Yeah,
also, couldn't
everyone just let it off like it was just a normal thing to see on television.
yeah, and also couldn't Tiffany have Wendy arrested for that? I feel like everything happened on camera. But okay, we're talking
Yeah.
in logic, and wrestling in itself does not deal in logic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Wendy lost to Tiffany, which is
Yeah.
interesting. I do not think they'll have like a clean singles match this early. Although I hope this feud continues because like the women's mid card in NXT needs like a bunch of really good, not good, but good to really good feuds to like keep the women's roster like in people's mind.
Yeah,
And they
when
started that with the Dusty Cup and like creating all these different areas of interest in the Dusty Cup. Like Persia and okay, I don't know if this is really an area of interest, but Persia and India are teasing like breaking up.
yeah.
I don't know
Uh
if they'll break up before the Dusty Cup or after, but I think it's going to happen soon for some reason.
uh, to me, if they want to split Persia in Indy, I think they should wait for Candice to come back. I think bringing in Candice in for one last time and having one last run as the way, I think it is to way to way to go once
Okay,
you're because Candice's contract's coming up really soon and
yeah, I
she
don't know if she resigns, but also that's another thing I want to bring up with you: the way, because like
yeah
you have Indy on NXT. That's all about yes, the way Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae are my parents. Yes, let's do that. And then you have Austin Theory on Raw, who is also in the way. who's also one of these kids of Johnny and Candace.
Yeah.
And you have him shaking hands with Grayson Waller, who beat Johnny when he was trying to give a goodbye speech. And you did not have that acknowledged. So is Austin Theory on NXT and two different people? Like, has Vince McMahon become Austin Theory's dad? And when Austin's like, who's that? Johnny Gargano? Never heard of him.
Maybe.
Like, I know we
I think
for this a lot.
They're trying to put Austin as one of the McMahons now that Shane's gone and
Shane's out of the will. And Austin's in it. And maybe yeah. And I know we ask this for a lot and we don't normally get it, but now that everything's under the same umbrella, maybe we can work on getting more continuity between NXT and the main roster.
Yeah.
They kind of had that with AJ and Grayson.
Yeah. But that's literally it.
Yeah, they didn't mention Riddle's trips to NXT at all.
No. They just shrugged it off like it was just a normal excursion, like it was a mini vacation to Florida.
He got hit by a bus and no one mentioned it after that.
Yeah.
What else happened on last night's show? I don't think they know how restraining orders work. I don't think they know how restraining orders work. Like, normally you arrest someone the same. Like, if you have proof that someone broke a restraining order, you do it right away. You don't say, hey, give me a week and I will have you arrested. But also, Grayson broke that restraining order a bunch of times. So, I don't think any judge in the country is going to be like, well, you see, I did come near him. Yes, that is true. But he also attacked me.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're just going to see them be like, yes, LA Knight should go to jail for breaking this restraining order, even though you broke it first. So I'm very confused at what they're doing there.
Yeah, me too. And I think LA Knight should be one of these guys that will be called up at some point this year. He's just got that, he's just got that main roster character.
He's the main roster guy. He's the main roster. But also I think the reason that they didn't bring him up was for Grayson's heel turn.
Yeah,
like
they have to have somebody to have the heat rubbed off and.
Yes, I think they wanted him to put over Grayson on his way to the main roster.
Yeah.
That's why AJ and Omos, Kyle and Vaughn, they want these older guys to help which I don't mind. Provided I like the younger guys, but that's a whole nother issue. But I think the reason he didn't get drafted last year was because they were like, we're going to turn this dude here, who's one of the best older guys they can face that we don't have anything else planned for. And they looked at LA and I was like, yeah, you'll do.
They're like, you were Eli Drake in TNA. You should take a loss there, bud.
Yeah. Also, I'm interested in what they do with LDF because LDF, the tag team, I love Raul Mendoza, I love Joaquin Wild. Anybody can tell you that. I've been Raul Mendoza's one of his biggest supporters since the Cruiserweight Classic. Other guys in the Cruiserweight Classic we'll talk about. But they've taken a lot of losses. So I think they either need to start winning or you need to put them in the main roster.
Yeah.
Or both, preferably both, but at least one of those two.
But start with one of the two.
Yes.
And I think, especially with the Joaquin Wild being snubbed by Rick Ross in TNA, I think
DJZ, Joaquin Wild
having that.
I think Raul Mendoza could have really good matches with they're not cruiserweights anymore, but the other flashy good guys like Mysterio and maybe even Dom.
Yeah.
Santos versus Ray is a feud I want to see.
Yeah, me too.
I think that would be a really good feud because
I think Santos staying in NXT and sending out Mendoza and Joaquin, I think it is the way to go.
Yeah. Because all due respect to Dom, but if someone's going to take over Ray's legacy, I'd rather it be Santos.
Yeah, 100%.
Even we were just talking about WWE not understanding ages, and Santos is like at least in his 30s, but we're like saying yes, he's gonna
Yeah.
take over his legacy.
He's like 5 years older than Dom, and he he's
Yes,
already gonna take over the Mysterio legacy before Dom even gets to that point.
yes. But once again, this is WWE not really doing ages that well. But yes,
Yeah.
Santos, I would love to see him called up to the main roster. The more he stays in NXT, the more I worry for him.
Yeah.
Because like Santos is main roster already. Like he has all the tools,
Yeah.
he knows how to talk, he's charismatic, he has a good look, he's wrestled really well because like
Yeah.
of his family background. And Raul and Joaquin, like they can wrestle well too. Like that match,
Yeah.
they had a couple of weeks ago that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And like they need a mouthpiece, which is why Santos and Electra are perfect for them.
Yeah.
But realistically, all of them could survive on the main roster if
Yeah.
like Vince wanted to. Like there's not really a worry for me.
Yeah. And knowing Vince, he'll probably
For
split
seven chase.
Elektra away
Yes.
from LDF, but
Yeah.
she could even still be a star on her own.
Yes. What was it? Oh yeah. Wednesday next week, Santos versus Braun. I would
Yeah.
not be surprised if this is Santos's swan song. Although I thought
Yeah.
the last to Braun was Ciampa's song. So
Yeah.
I don't
So
understand.
you never know.
Yeah, I don't know. I know Ciampa said he was more open to being in the main roster than he was before, but I'm not sure like if they'll ever pull the trigger on that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Ciampa has been working dark matches on SmackDown with Pete Dunne, so maybe they'll do that.
Yes. I'm
Bring
not sure
up
that's a
those
program
two.
they'll have on the main roster immediately though. I think
Yeah.
Pete Dunne, but Pete Dunne could face anybody on the main roster and make it look good. He's Pete Dunne. Face heel.
Yeah.
He doesn't really in face or heel.
They,
You know what
they
would be a
could
good
they could
feud?
have a full feud between Miz and Ciampa. They only had that one match
Yeah.
at
And
the
then like
Buffalo show after
yeah.
the Saudi Arabia show in 2019.
Yeah. You know what would be a
But
good
I
feud
think
again?
they should have a full feud.
Dunne and Balor.
Yeah,
That would be a
that
really
needs to
good feud.
happen.
Yes. We'll see if it does because like Finn is hanging out with his family, I think, right now in Ireland.
Yeah,
Like Finn's one of those guys that's like, oh, you have nothing for me? Cool. I'll
I
be in
think
Ireland.
Finn was even pushing to go do stuff in NXT
Yes. He
UK.
wanted to do NXT UK stuff. He was just like, okay, you have nothing for me in NXT. Let me go back to NXT UK. And
Yeah,
Vince was like, nope, we need you as Roman's next challenger. That's not really his challenger, but is his challenger while we
yeah.
decide which one of these guys
Who's
is
the
going to be
next
his
guy?
next
Yeah,
challenger. Yeah. Mm. But yeah, also on Raw, we had some other stuff that I can't. Like Bobby's promo.
yeah,
Like I know we talked about it, but like Bobby got babyface reaction, even though they were in
mm-hmm.
Colorado. But I
Yeah,
like Bobby as a face. I'm not sure if MVP can probably pull it off. MVP can probably pull off anything, but like Bobby as a
yeah,
face would be really good. You can even do a double turn. No
yeah,
way. If the goal is Brock with Roman, I mean, you can do a double turn of Brock and Bobby.
yeah. But I get what you're saying.
Yes,
Uh,
Bobby as a face could be
Bobby's
interesting.
yeah. Bobby would get major pops as a babyface, and especially putting up against maybe somebody like Chad Gable, for an example,
You know
or
what I think they should? They will never in 100 years do it, but you know what I think they should do? Next week, Bobby and Burke promo. Bobby says, hey, you want this title for title match so bad? How about this? You don't win the elimination chamber. I beat you in the elimination chamber. I get your WrestleMania title shot, and then it's me versus Roman title for title at Mania.
that's a good one. But
They'll never do it. They
yeah,
want Brock versus
uh,
Roman at WrestleMania
yeah,
with all the stakes.
Vince loves himself some Brock Lesnar. He's always done that. He's always favored towards Brock Lesnar when it came to major title matches.
Yeah. But it would be an interesting story. Also, what are the Street Profits doing? They seem
I
like
don't
they're
know.
just the team that just comes in and out of everyone's, which is fine. I like that. I like the Street Profits. I like them on my screen. So I'm fine with that. But I
Yeah.
think the Raw Tag Team division needs a major
Major
facelift.
shake up there.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think they should do another draft and like have the whole presentation of a draft
Yes.
instead of just, oh, by the way, so and so is on Raw, so and so is on SmackDown, so and so has
They
been
need to
called
bring it
down
back
to
to
NXT.
2002.
Yeah, uh,
Assign
that
Sonya to
that
Raw
are
and Adam to SmackDown. And then just do
yeah
it like a normal draft.
yeah
You can even do
that's
the
perfect.
shots in the back like they did in 2002 with like every superstar
Yeah
on watching a TV screen, waiting for the news of where they are drafted.
yeah that or like what they did for the 2010 one.
Yeah.
But besides the anonymous Raw general manager stuff.
Yeah. Actually, I take back what I said about 2002. You know what they need to do?
Yeah.
What they did in the years after that, where a Raw superstar and
Yeah.
SmackDown superstar fought, and then whoever won, they got to have someone drafted to their show. And then you saw on the screen the
Yeah.
randomizer, and they like went through all the faces, and then bam.
Yeah.
That would be fun. They should do that.
Yeah, I miss that version of the WWE draft, and
yes.
We'll see what happens over the next few weeks.
What do you think they're going to do with Kevin Owens? And, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But what do you think they're going to do with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins? I really hope they don't break them up.
Yeah, me too. Especially because me as a Canadian, seeing a Quebecois like Kevin Owens in a big spot like that, it is really cool.
Yeah, I think hopefully the end goal is maybe RK Bro versus Seth and KO at WrestleMania.
That's what I'm hoping for.
And then maybe we get a turn after that. I don't know, but like I hope we can hold off until after WrestleMania.
Yeah,
because like Kevin Owens is really entertaining. This Seth Rollins, I know people have their problems with him, but like I've been really entertained with Seth Rollins.
Yeah, this new drip guy, Seth Rollins is very interesting to me. It's absolutely entertaining.
Seth can play a face, but I think he's better as a heel. He's better as a heel. Like, and the thing with me is you can tell the exact moment the WWE Universe stopped loving Seth as a face the last time. And they need to not make that mistake again. And I don't trust them to not make that mistake again. So keep Seth as a heel that people love or hate.
Yeah. Like, let him be a heel. No matter the crowd reaction. Like, he's going to get a crowd reaction if he's a babyface or a heel. It won't matter.
Yes. And KO has been really good in this, like, tweener role. I want to call it a tweener role, although I think they see him as a full heel. But I call him as a tweener.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, you won't turn on me, would you? You got my back. You're my best friend, right? Like this paranoid KO that needs people to love him. Because that's the reason he turned heel in the first place in this run. Now, speaking of day one main eventers, what is going on with Big E?
I think he's back on SmackDown because is injured at the moment.
Yes, he was injured. Big E's back at, and okay, listen. I know people have their problems. I don't mind when former world title holders are like back in tag teams or back in the mid card. I just want them treated with love, not respect, but I want them treated like they are former world title holders.
Yeah, 100%.
Because not everyone can be a main eventer. Like we all accept that. We all know that. So like some former world title holders have to go back to the main mid card.
Yeah,
but at least treat them like they are former world title holders.
Yeah, have it be on the graphic and
like Dolph and Miz are the two examples, because even if they get like beat constantly, they every chance they get, they will remind you that they won world champions. That's not in Big E's character. I mean, it kind of is, but in this iteration, it's not. So like he's not going to remind you constantly, yes, I won that world title. I won from Bobby Lashley. And yes, what happened, but I was a world title holder. But then that's why you have, who are the SmackDown commentators? Pat McAfee and Michael Cole. That's why you have those two. Be like, wow, Big E, the former WWE champion, is now in this match against Madcap Moss for some reason that no one really knows.
They're gonna go 1-on-1 for the IC championship.
Oh no, that's why I forgot. It was Los Lotharios. Also push Los Lotharios, or at least draft them over the Raw so we can see Street Profits versus Los Lotharios in a really, really good Raw mid-card tag team feud.
Yeah.
And also congratulations to Angel Garza, or Angel, who is about to become a dad.
Yeah. Congrats to Garza.
But yes, that's my two qualms.
Yeah, he's a very talented guy. And I think having him sell the hell out of Big E stuff.
Oh, he's a good seller. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, my problem is that he is a good seller. So yeah, that's a couple of my qualms with WWE. Continuity, treat your world champions with respect.
Yeah.
And get a mid-card title. I mean, not get mid-card tag team picture under control.
Yeah. And having a mid-card title picture like what they're doing with Los Lotharios and the New Day. I think once King Woods comes back, they could have a 6-man with
Do you think they put Big E back with Kofi so they can run New Day versus Usos again for the title? Except this time, hey, look, it's not Woods, it's Big E. This is completely different.
Probably. Knowing them, they would probably do that in a heartbeat.
Yes. Okay, so we talked a lot of shit about WWE, and every time we do that, I feel the need to talk about some of my favorite things. So I will say.
So let's start getting into something a little bit more interesting.
The good things about WWE. Bobby Lashley as champion. Bobby Lashley as champion. Bobby Lashley is my champion. Bobby Lashley is my champion. Bobby Lashley is my champion. AJ Styles is the face, and Santos Escobar is being Santos Escobar.
Yeah, and you just named some great stuff.
There's a lot more.
Another great thing about WWE right now is RK Bro.
Yes.
What they've been doing right now with RK Bro, it's slightly entertaining.
And Chad Gable's getting a push. I forgot to mention that, but that's very important. That anytime Chad Gable is getting a push and not being used as fodder for, was he King Corbin at the time or just Baron Corbin?
I think he might have been.
Whatever. It was one iteration
one of his final matches as King.
Yeah, it was one iteration of Baron Corbin that Chad Gable was being used as the joke of. So now he's getting a push, and people can see what he can do as this young Kurt Angle. Although I really hope he doesn't lose his hair as soon as Kurt Angle. But Chad Gable's doing good stuff. Bobby Lashley, even though he might lose the championship again, I really hope he doesn't. I want him to stay the champion until maybe Mania. Because we were talking about this before, not on the show, I think, but I was saying that, hey, if Brock and Roman are going to face each other, they don't really need to establish that any other way, except that Brock is angry at Roman and maybe win a match. So have Big E win the Rumble and face Bobby for the title at Mania. That's an easy story to tell.
Yeah.
Big E ended Bobby's last reign. Can he end this one? Especially because this is a money in the contract situation. Bobby isn't facing Randy Orton right before. So MVP can play on that. He'd be like, you beat Bobby, yes, but you cheated to do so. Yeah. Can you face Bobby at 100% health when he's expecting you? But they moved Big E to SmackDown. They have this thing now. And the thing is, on the Raw roster, who could challenge Lashley after Brock? Oh, Seth and KO. That could be another spot for them.
That's literally the only ones you have left.
Yeah,
that could be credible challengers, but besides the tag teams, really, that's the only.
Yeah, they could move Drew back to Raw and have him and Bobby pick up where they left off. That's not really the option I would go for. but it is an option that they have that they could use.
Yeah, and as far as WWE goes, it was something else over the past week.
Yes, it
To
moved
say
at
the
lightning
least.
speed, and like that's why I don't mean this for WWE only. I also mean this for AEW.
Yeah.
I think someone needs to have a chart in office somewhere. Every pay-per-view is listed. You list how many weeks you have until each pay-per-view. So it's not like 3 weeks before, 2 or 3 weeks before the pay-per-view. Like, we need to build to that pay-per-view. Okay, what matches do we have? What can we do? What surprises do we have?
Yeah.
Because we can talk about AEW now. Revolution is 3 weeks away. We all think it's going to be Adam Cole facing Adam Page for the title.
Most likely.
But we don't know yet. And we're also going to have face of the Revolution ladder match. And we are
which
just
we'll get into
those
that in just
qualifying
a second
matches.
here.
Yeah, we're just, and like Britt, I don't think has a feud. Does she? Did I miss something? I think the last interaction she had with someone was like Chris. And Chris is feeding with Layla now. So like it's all kind of like jumbled up to, and I know in 3 weeks that's a lot of time to like unravel some things, and everything will make sense because they do have 3 hours of TV. So I'm pretty sure they'll unravel things, but like it's like they need to like have some clarity on like when the pay-per-view is, when we need to start building towards it.
Yeah, and I think like you were saying, have a chart in like an office or something.
Yeah.
Write it down or on like a book or something.
Yes, you need to know how many weeks you have between pay-per-views, especially in like I guess we're talking about WWE again. They had this Saudi show. Now that wasn't known. I mean, for us, it wasn't really known ahead of time. It wasn't like a year ago. You could say yes, they're gonna do a Saudi show on this date, like you do for like Mania or Rumble, where you can give like a ballpark. So that I get it, but still, you should like have some things clear before you get to it, like planning wise.
I agree 100%, especially with AEW bringing in these new signings. Where do they go after?
Like, I forgot who said it. I think I heard it. Like someone said, Jim Ross said it. If you bring someone in, you need like a 6-month plan for them. I think that's long, especially the way AEW does things. But maybe like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Like I know he wasn't everyone's favorite signing, but you signed Tony Nese. You signed him in the audience for Sammy's matches. Then you had him face Sam. Now he lost, and now he's back on Dark. And like, I'm not one of those guys to say you can't put people on Dark. You can put people on Dark. You can put like really good guys on Dark because that's how they get reps and that's how they get matches. Because like you have a big roster. But maybe now they could already have it, and I could be talking on my ass, and I'll be looking dumb in like a month or two. Maybe have another plan for Tony.
Oh, 100%. I think Tony Nese is one of these guys where you can bring him in, have like what they were doing originally, bring him back up, and maybe I don't know, maybe put him in a spot with Cody, maybe.
I think I could be making things up. I am known to do that. But Tony was tweeting an awful lot about Hook. So I think the plan might be when Hook is done with this
TV.
When Hook is done with this feud with QT, you start a program with Tony. I don't know why. I mean, you would do that so early. Oh, I think Tony is a much more better feud option than QT. Although I get it, QT did train Hook. But maybe that's what I would like to think that's where they headed, and Tony's just not tweeting stuff just to tweet stuff, although that might be a possibility.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Ryback's coming tonight. So
yeah. And we'll get into that in just a second here, but
yeah. And also Lee Moriarty. Lee Moriarty is another, because like you had this good program between him, Leo, Matt Sydal, and Dante. And then you decided to turn Leo face, and then you were like, well, Matt and Lee, you guys are both faces. So that's not going to work. So instead, we're going to put Leo and Dante in a program with Team Taz, and then you
Yeah.
guys go on dark for a bit. I don't know. And then
Yeah.
you had
They come
Leo
back.
get injured, and then you had Leo be like, "Yeah, I'm not really feeling AEW. I think I'm just going to do my own thing for a while." And then AEW was like, "Well, what do we do now?" And then someone remembered, "Wait, we put Dante with Lee and Matt before. We can
Yeah.
just do that again." So now
Yeah.
he's back on TV somewhat, and now he's back with Dante, which I like. I like
Yeah.
the three of them together. I'm a huge fan of Matt Sydal, as you know. I did not like Brian Danielson's slander of him doing his promo to Moxley.
Yeah.
But like maybe have some continuity, not continuity, but like maybe have an idea,
Yeah.
like a sketch match of where you're going with stuff. That would be helpful.
Mhm.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I agree 100%. And tonight is going to be an interesting show for me. I think, uh, of course, the thing that everybody's talking about right now is the debut for tonight.
Yes.
And
Tony Khan hyped up in 3 tweets. So if he's not good,
3,
he will know
and
about
he
it.
put it in major things. He also said in a Sports Illustrated article that is one of their biggest signings of all time.
Okay. I love Christian
So
Cage.
he's really hyping this.
Yes, I love Christian Cage. I love Tony Khan. He hypes things up way too much.
Yeah.
Like Christian, I knew it was Christian Cage. The other announcement where Paul White was like, "I'm bringing over Hall of Fame talent." I was like, "Oh, Christian Cage. He's the only one that would go to AEW, but he still
Exactly.
doesn't wrestle." And John Cena would never. Is too loyal to Vince. So I knew it was Christian Cage. So I was like, okay, it's gonna be Christian Cage. That's good. I like Christian Cage. And then he came out and everyone was like, wait, it's only Christian Cage? And they're just like, yeah, okay. I don't like the Christian Cage slander either, but that's another story.
Yeah.
So I think Tony he will just let the surprises speak for themselves.
Yeah.
But Tony is like a promoter. He's a football promoter. He's he's the other football across the pond promoter. He's now a wrestling promoter. And the one thing all promoters like to do, they hype things up to 1 million to get fan interest. So eventually he will learn to let the spies speak for themselves, but he's just doing what a promoter does.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think whoever it is, whether it's Keith Lee, whether it's Swerve, or even some way somehow, Jeff
Hardy. Like, I love Jeff Hardy. I know everyone is assuming him. I will be shocked if it's Jeff Hardy, because like WWE does let people out if they not compete. I would be very surprised if they let Jeff Hardy, because they know exactly where his mind is. They know he wants to go to AEW with his brother. And like, they're not in the position of letting people go to AEW. They let Moxley, but Moxley was like, yeah, you know what? I might retire. I might take some time off. I don't really know what I'm going to do. So WWE was like, yeah, sure, we'll let you contract time. We'll give you this big send off. So hopefully you'll come back soon. And then like Moxley's like, okay, cool. I'm going to go to AEW. Bye.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way it happened for John Moxley. But for Jeff, I think if some way somehow, like, I know
maybe
we're not in
TK
March
did buy him
yet.
out. Like Matt teased that he was like, hey, maybe TK buy him out. No one knows.
Matt could say the same thing about Ali. But
yeah, but that's
another story for another time.
That's a whole nother issue. If it's Ali, we'll talk about it next week. But I don't think it's Ali. I don't think that Wentz will.
He did say to kick the forbidden door from the former employer.
Are we sure Tony Khan knows what the forbidden door means?
I think he has an inkling of what it is, but
also another name it could be that not a lot of people talk about, because not a lot of people watch Impact, is Jonah. Because like 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was a Jonah match, and Dan Lambert was in the audience, and they panned to Dan Lambert in the audience for that Jonah match.
Yeah.
Now, if Dan Lambert is in 3 segments of AEW Dynamite, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah. we're gonna
because
into
like
that in just a second here. And for me, the only segment worth seeing of Dan Lambert is Paige. Hell, even Paige doesn't even need Dan Lambert.
my favorite Dan Lambert segment from last week was when Jake the Snake took the mic from him and was like, Dan, shut up.
Yeah.
And then Archer rushed in and brawled with Page, Adam Page.
Yeah.
And then those two are gonna have a good match tonight.
Yeah. They're gonna have a great death match. I'm hoping at least a few light tubes or two.
It's a Texas death match, not like an actual. I mean, it is an actual death match, but like Texas death match or like
Yeah, but they're in New Jersey.
It's a New Jersey death match.
Essentially.
I want Archer's new thing to be anytime he's in a big match, it's going to be a Texas death match.
I agree.
Yes,
that's the way it should be.
King versus Archer in a Texas death match.
Yeah, he had one with Moxley. He had one with Hangman now.
Yes, but like I would love it if like Archer's just like, King, you want me again a double or nothing? My terms. Texas death match. Because like King and Archer did have the feud, so they're not going to go back to that anytime soon. But like,
yeah, and I think having someone like an Archer have those big matches be a Texas death match, I think it totally makes sense. And now moving on to
hold on. What are the 4 pay-per-views that AEW does again? Sorry, just to refresh my memory.
So it's Revolution, Double or Nothing,
All Out. Revolution, All Out, Double or Nothing, All Out, and Full Gear.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and chart Hangman's tailoring just through these pay-per-views alone. Okay?
Yeah.
It's gonna be I'm still holding out hope it's Cole. Revolution. Yeah. They don't have that much time to set it up, but I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then what's the next pay-per-view? Double or Nothing?
Yeah.
I want Miro. I want it to be a return Miro.
I think that's the way to go.
And then All Out, MJF. And he loses the title to MJF. By the way, MJF beat CM Punk in Chicago twice. We did not talk about that at all.
Well, we're going to talk about that in just a few moments here, but
yes. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I see his tailoring going, at least on pay-per-views. Like they have a lot of time between the pay-per-views on the actual show where they can do a whole bunch of stuff. Actually, you know what? I think have Paige be a champ for a year. Have him lose the title at Full Gear to MJF. And then at All Out, you have Bryan Danielson versus not Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley.
Yeah. Versus Hangman.
Yes. With Bryan Danielson in Jon Moxley's corner, because those two have like cells.
And they're going to be a team by then, and they're going to have a whole Danielson dojo. And
by the way, there was no mention of Kyle O'Reilly. Why was there no mention of Kyle O'Reilly? Is Kyle O'Reilly going to fight these guys? Because like I need Kyle O'Reilly and Bryan Danielson interacting.
I would assume. Yeah, I would assume the Undisputed Era are going to face off with the Danielson dojo at some point.
Yeah, I forgot who tweeted this, and it's going to bug me. But someone tweeted when Kyle debuted. Someone tweeted, turn him ASAP so him and Danielson can fight ASAP. And like I've been winning this match since WWE. Give me Kyle O'Reilly versus Bryan Danielson. Just give it. I don't care what the story is. Danielson could walk up to like the Undisputed Elite and then just lap Kyle O'Reilly, and that could set off a match between those two. I do not care. Just give me Bryan Danielson on one side, Kyle O'Reilly on the other.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is having at the Danielson dojo be Danielson and Moxley against Red Dragon.
Oh yeah, the Danielson dojo would be Danielson, Lee,
Moxley,
Danielson, Lee, Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Garcia, right?
Yeah,
that's 5 people.
You can put 2 tag teams.
No, I have. You have sorry, I know that's rude, but like I haven't thought. You can have Mox's former best friend Eddie Kingston. You can have Eddie Kingston, the Young Boys, and Santana and Ortiz, who are going to walk away from the Inner Circle tonight, because if this Inner Circle storyline continues for one more week, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah,
You have
and
those three.
you can only handle so many Chris Jericho town halls.
Yes, you have those three, and then you have Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, who have just got done feuding with Adam Cole and the Bucks. Face Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. And then you have them meet in a stipulation match of some kind. I don't know. Blood or Guts, Stadium Stampede. I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly don't really care. I just like, that's a 10-man that I would do.
Yeah. That sounds good. But
maybe have Diamante and Layla Hirsch involved too.
Oh yeah. You gotta have Diamante
Yes.
with LAX.
It just fits.
Yeah. She wasn't in the original LAX too, so
yes, it just fits that she's in, and that way she can get more she can get some TV time.
Yeah. So now what do you do with Kiera Hogan at that point?
I think here okay, one thing AEW needs to figure out is the women's division. And
yeah.
I do have faith they will, hopefully, eventually. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. But yeah. But also, who is Britt facing? Do you push up? Do you like maybe do a super fast push for Red Velvet? Or do you just have like Britt sit out pay for you? You give her like a TV defense in between Revolution. And then you just have her sit out.
You maybe have her work with Athena, maybe.
If Athena does come before Evolution.
Yeah.
You think they have Athena debut or Evolution? Like you have whoever Britt faces.
You could do that. You could have
Velvet.
her face Red Velvet, have Red Velvet take the L.
Yes.
Have Britt and Rebel and Jamie Hayter attack Red Velvet. Have Athena's music hit. Have her save Red Velvet from those three.
That could. I mean, I don't. Okay, I love Ruby. I wasn't the biggest fan of them immediately pushing Ruby to a title match because, like, there was nowhere for her to go down after that, which a lot of people are upset about.
Yeah.
But Athena, it could maybe have Britt avoid Athena for a while until like Double or Nothing, and then because like I think we both agree, the destination for this title reign has to be a Jamie Hayter turn, Thunder Rosa winning the title. The two things that should happen before the title reign is done.
Yeah,
you can do that 100%. All out. You can do that all out, I think.
Yeah.
This would be a really historic reign by Britt, though, by that point.
Yeah, it's already historic as it is anyway.
Yeah.
Because they've already had historic matches, especially with Britt and Thunder Rosa.
Yes.
That lights out match, I think, is a match that people are going to remember forever. In 10, 15 years' time, people are going to look back at that match and remember how historic it was.
Yes. So, yeah, that's the women's title scene. I think we just did TK's job for him. No need to thank
Pretty
us,
much.
TK. Although you can send us a check if you want. But MJF and Wardlow, that's another area that we need to untangle before MJF wins his world title. Or maybe after. But I think they should do it before.
I agree 100%. I think if you want to do MJF versus Wardlow, it has to be before or after he wins the title.
You know, I think they could do. They could do this whole storyline, whatever, with MJF Wardlow. They have MJF and Wardlow stay together until MJF wins the title. I don't know if he cheats to win it. That's something we'll have to figure. But I think Wardlow will help him in some way.
Maybe throw in the towel or something.
Yeah, I think Wardlow will win. And then the next speech MJF gives, he's like, I did it all by myself. None of you believed in me, but I did it, and now I'm your champion, and I did it all by myself. And then Wardlow's in the back like,
then he grabs the microphone.
I'm sorry, what did you just say? And then he just like, and then like that's how you have the breakup between them.
Yeah.
Because now Wardlow wants that title. And Wardlow's upset and MJF will never give him hit it. So that's how you do the breakup.
I think that's the perfect way to split them up. It just makes sense. And especially because once MJF is going to be champion, he's just going to He's
He's
gonna
gonna be
say
unbearable.
exactly that.
Yes.
He's gonna say he did it all by himself. He's gonna say how he beat CM Punk twice. He's
gonna
gonna
do
do
that
all.
tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna talk all this shit, and then eventually he'll come back up and finally have a Wardlow turn on him.
I have a question though. There are a lot of options, good options for this. Who do you think has the shortest title reign in AEW history? Kingston, Punk, Danielson, Wardlow, Miro, maybe eventually. Who do you think it's going to be?
Shortest.
Because like all of them have been like 100+ days.
Yeah,
You can't
probably
continue that
Eddie.
trend. Yeah.
Most likely Eddie. He'll have it probably for 3 months or something.
Yeah. Eddie's, I think, is a pretty good shot for the.
Have Eddie lose it. Have Eddie win it from Punk, then have Danielson beat Eddie for the title.
Yes. Yes. Also, we haven't really talked about CM Punk. Do you think tonight's the start of his heel turn? Because he did finally lose.
Yeah, I think it is going to be the start of the burn towards I'm CM Punk, I'm pissed off again.
Yes, hopefully. I love this new CM Punk. I love him more than most people do.
Yeah.
But I need some pissed off CM Punk.
Me too.
I need CM Punk telling Adam Page the reason you didn't do anything for like 5 years was because you're an alcoholic. And I'm not. I'm straight edge, which means I'm smarter than you. I need that. Although I don't think they've really leaned off the drunk cowboy gimmick of Adam Page, which is good.
Yeah.
But like, I want CM Punk telling a face Bryan Danielson, the only reason you were champion was because I left. I need like Swarmy shithead Punk. I think that'd be amazing.
I agree. I think an AEW World Champion Bryan Danielson being told by CM Punk, the only reason you main evented WrestleMania was because I left.
And they haven't leaned away from Punk leaving. They had MJF mention it. They don't avoid that. And also, while we're on the subject of Bryan Danielson, congratulations to Bryan Danielson on becoming an ROH Hall of Fame inductee.
Yeah, well deserved. Yes. I think Bryan Danielson is one of these guys you think who should be in an ROH Hall of Fame. I think right off the bat, I think him. I think Samoa Joe. Of course, the Briscoes, they're already in technically.
Yeah.
So
CM Punk, I think, should be another. CM Punk, maybe Daniyal.
CM Punk and CD, yeah, I think should be the 5 that get inducted this year.
Yes. What else do we have to talk about? Oh,
yeah.
Cody wasn't on the show last week.
Yeah, which begs the question: he might be the announcement.
I really don't like that. I don't like Cody being in these. I know why he's in these big spots.
I'm not saying he's facing Isaiah. I'm saying he's going to be the announcement.
Oh, you mean the free agent? Oh, yeah, that one. Maybe he resigns the contract in the middle of the ring. Who knows? Or maybe Summer of Funk. I have told you since the story broke. This is Cody wanting your Summer of Funk moment. What does everyone say is one of the biggest mistakes they made with Summer of Punk besides the Kevin Nash thing? They didn't
not
keep
going
Punk
everywhere else.
They didn't keep Punk off TV long enough.
Exactly.
He might be off TV until Revolution. We don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Also, I just had like a thought while we were recording this. We talked about the Inner Circle Town Hall. Who is the champion in the Inner Circle right now?
Sammy.
Who did Chris Jericho not help when he was getting his ass beat by Matt Hardy and Isaiah Cassidy last week?
Sammy.
Who do you think is going to be pissed off at Chris Jericho for not helping him and having him be double teamed until Darby Allin ran out to the ring?
Sammy fucking Guevara.
Do you see where I'm going with this?
Sammy's gonna beat the shit out of Chris Jericho.
Or there's another option here that the opposite of that.
Sammy joins Cody.
No, Sammy and Chris Jericho. But you're only talking about one result of that match. What's the other result of that match?
Chris beats Sammy. No.
Hey, it might happen. Chris Jericho's the influencer now.
No. What is it gonna do? Have the TNT title and show up on Snapchat or whatever? I don't know. I hope not. No.
Maybe Chris Jericho gets mad at Sammy's vlogs like Danielson is, and his stipulation is, if I beat you for the title, I get your vlogs.
No. They better not. Oh my God.
Hey, I'm just throwing things out there. If this happens, this is not me. Okay? We know for a fact he does not watch this podcast. No.
True.
So yes, who knows? We'll see what the Inner Circle Town Hall has to do today.
Yeah, we'll find out what happens on another Inner Circle.
We'll see what
Town
happens
Hall.
We'll see what happens, and then we can talk about it next week. And if I'm right, I do not want the credit. I do not want the credit at all.
Yeah. Let's have Solo take the credit for it.
Yes.
Or Fuego. I don't care.
Yes. For Chris Jericho on Sammy's vlogs, just hanging out with Fuego del Sol and Ellen Angels. And
get some C's in the chat.
I want no one to acknowledge it. I want them to act like it's real Sammy. I want no one to acknowledge it.
Oh my God, that would be so funny though. Then just have Ty kiss Chris on the cheek every once in a while. Oh my God, that would be so funny.
Yes. Well, now that I have successfully traumatized you with this whole TNT title idea, I think it's time to call it a show. Yeah. So we've discussed that we think it's going to be Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns title for title at WrestleMania. We have no idea who is going to be the surprise, although we can guess. We think Santos Escobar needs to move up. Yeah. And we like Wendy Chu. Yeah. Pretty good show, I would say.
And Chris Jericho is gonna take over Sammy's vlog.
Yes. So I think that's it for us today. I don't think Sam can continue this after I put that Chris Jericho idea in his head. As always, you can find me at DJ Wrestling Fan on Twitter. We're also on Twitter and YouTube at Squared Post Podcast. And Sam?
You can find me at Sam.Wrestle on Twitter. And that does it for this episode. I'm Sam. That's Dan.
I'm Daniyal. See you guys.
See you next time.